Hi, and welcome to Module 1. This week is a shorter week. It runs Wednesday to Sunday. I have just a few things that I'd like you to do. There are 3 articles. David Lurcher wrote about changes in school libraries, and all of these are from about 10 years ago. And that is sort of when the move towards Learning Commons started. So Lurcher calls that out in his Flip This Library article. And then Burge talks about our own Valerie Diggs and how she created the Chelmsford Learning Commons. And then Abel looks at, I don't know if any of you are familiar with Cushing Academy, but they, about 10 years ago, decided to go bookless in a huge misstep of epic proportion. So what I want you to look at is ways that libraries can change, both for the good and for the bad. So those 3 I'd like you to read. There's also an article by Melchior, I think his name is. But he's the guy who came into Cushing and sort of reversed the direction that they were doing. So that's an interesting look at that. So those are some articles for you to talk about in the discussion boards. Then you're going to need to create a blog if you don't already have one. There's tutorials online. I use Blogger because it's super simple and easy to do. Please make sure that your blog is public. It should be viewable by anybody in the world. You don't have to put your name on it if you're not comfortable with people knowing that you're learning about educational technology, but it should be public. I mean, that's the point. So create a blog, and then your first content for the blog is going to be the top 10 things you think educators should know about technology. So there's an article, this woman, Karen Olson, I believe her name was, asked a query online and said, what do you think the top 10 things that educators should know about technology are? And people responded with a ton of stuff. So if you need some context for that, you can look at Olson's responses. But what I really want is your gut instinct. From the point that you're at right now, what do you think people should know? And don't worry if at the end of this course you're like, what was I thinking? Because that shows evolution. That'll give me an idea of sort of what your attitudes towards technology are, where you're coming from, that kind of thing. Tomorrow, next module, we will look further into, sort of what our starting off points are and jump into this idea of school librarians as technology leaders. So to recap, discussion on those articles, blog, in your blog, your top 10 list. It doesn't have to be a big list, bullet points, but numerical bullet points so that I know that there are 10. All right, that's it. And I will see you on the discussion boards.